Hey everybody, remember me? I was just playing Bugsnax a few minutes ago, but now we're going to play a different game on a different system. First, but it's very important for this run, we have to set our clock to this very specific time, so we're going to do that first, and then hop into the game. There we go. Yes, my name is KonceptionSR. Again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed Bugsnax. We have a slightly longer run here for you, but it's still going to be entertaining nonetheless. All right, so we're going to name our character. We got to do it for the kids, right? No kid hungry. Absolutely. All right, so time is going to start right after I hit yes here. So 3, 2, 1, go. All right, now we have about 2.5 minutes of cutscene, so we got plenty of time to explain what this category is and what we're doing. So this is Pokemon Sword, most recent generation of Pokemon games, obviously. This is a DLC run, technically. So the category is called Tower of Two Fists. So specifically, I'm going to be doing the Get Urshifu subcategory, which is kind of like the good ending versus the bad ending of the DLC. So this run is very unique. So we do start from a fresh file, and we are going to, do all of the beginning of the game stuff, meet our rival, get our Pokemon, fight a few trainers. As soon as we are able to, we are going to hop on over to the Isle of Armor, which is the first DLC of this generation. All right, and then we are going to complete all of the main quest line for that DLC. And then it ends when we evolve a Kubfu into an Urshifu. That's how it ends. Why I really love this run in particular is that there are two main routes that you can take. And I'm taking a less popular one, which is that I'm going to be starting with Sobble. I'm going to be then swapping over to a Vulpix Ninetales combination. The reason why I do that is because the other route, which is to use Sobble for a majority of the game, is ever so slightly faster. However, it is a little bit more risk dependent because you would also have to make sure you have a Sobble with very specific stats. So instead of, resetting to make sure I have a specific Sobble, I'd rather catch a Vulpix, and even if the Vulpix doesn't have the stats that I'm looking for, I can just catch another one. It's faster than resetting, waiting 2 minutes, and then getting another Sobble. So that's the reason why I like doing the Ninetales. Plus, it's different. We get to see more Pokemon. It's more exciting. That's why I like it. Just to take a pause here for a second, we did have a $20 donation from Steve Arian that says, "It's not a KonceptionSR speedrun without me donating. Our end is nigh. Our doom approaches." Thank you so much, Steve. I really appreciate that donation. Shout out to Bugsnax. You didn't get to see those lines because we did any percent, but those are some prominent lines in the no major skips or 100% categories. So, like I said, play Bugsnax. But all that talking aside, we are basically through the intro cutscene, but we're not anywhere out of the woods. The beginning of this game has quite a number of cutscenes, so we'll be having plenty of time to talk here. But the first major hurdle, and I always say major hurdle because this is the part I always struggle with the most, is once we gain control of NKH here, our main character, we are going to be changing a bunch of settings. And the Switch controllers are notorious for just straight up dropping inputs or bouncing inputs, meaning you hit the input but then it bounces back. So it can be a little bit tricky to do quickly. So we're gonna gain control here, get over here, and we're gonna go into our settings. All right, that was pretty painless. We like that. That was pretty painless. We got through all of them pretty quickly. If you're curious, some settings that we changed there. We turn off battle animations, which obviously just saves time. We change the text speed to fast, obviously just saves time. We turn off the ability to give nicknames to the Pokemon, which just saves text boxes, which we don't need. And we also turn off there's an option for skip movies as well, which doesn't come into play a lot during this run, but it's not like skipping cutscenes like this, for example. It's skipping the cinematics that occur at points during the run. It doesn't happen again too much in this run, but it's worth turning off as well. We also turn off the swap, which means that typically if you don't alter your settings, after every time you defeat a Pokemon in battle, it will ask if you want to change Pokemon. We turn that off since we primarily use just one Pokemon throughout the majority of the run. So We just a bunch of settings there. All right, so we gain control. Again, this is mainly still just plot exposition cutscene stuff. We're not going to get our starter Pokemon until about 8 minutes into the run, so we still have a few minutes before that happens, but plenty of time. We get to meet Hop. Hop is a divisive character. Now, personally, I think Hop as a rival and like in the story is great. I think Hop is a great character, goes through an arc. It's really compelling stuff. From a speedrunning perspective, he's unfortunately pretty annoying because he loves to have these like exclamation lines in the middle of battle. For example, there will be one point later on, we'll get into a little bit closer, that if his starter Pokemon uses a specific move, he'll say an extra line. If I crit on him, he'll say an extra line. He always likes to talk about how we know about type advantages. Like, he just has a lot of this exposition. So it wastes time, unfortunately. But as a character, like I said, I think Hop's pretty cool. I think Hop's pretty cool as a rival. Here we also get to meet Leon, who is the champion, and Hop's brother. Classic, has a Charizard, you know, classic champion type behavior. Gets to flex on everybody as he comes out of the train station. You know, who doesn't love to see that? Which reminds me, a very fun meme category in this game is called Flex on Mom. And what you do is, so your mom gives you a bunch of money when you start off on your journey. So you could buy, you know, like Pokeballs, potions, things you would need for fighting and catching Pokemon. In Flex on Mom, we ignore that. We get on over to the stylist as soon as possible, spend all of the money your mom gave us on a graphic t-shirt that we can wear that has Arcanine on it. Then we run back to mom and we do that, like this like spinning animation and like where we shoot our hands towards the sky, just kind of like Leon did just a few minutes ago. And then that's the category. Once you flex on mom like that, it's over. That's how it ends. So yeah, nice fun like 20-ish minute category if you want to break down some fun meme categories. I swear we're almost getting our first Pokemon. It's coming up right here. And now, even though I am doing the Ninetales route, by the way, we still do pick Sobble here. But the reason why it matters, Sobble route over a Ninetales route, is that it doesn't really matter what my Sobble stats are. It could be a terrible Sobble and it'll be fine. We could still get by because we don't have to use Sobble for that long. If the Sobble stats were bad and I was choosing to do the Sobble route, I would have to save right before here. And then you're going to notice we have about 2 minutes of cutscenes. No, a little less than 2 minutes. But basically, we have to go all the way up to the first Pokemon we defeat when we're fighting Hop to see what our stats are. If we see then that the stats are bad, we have to reset, go through pick Sobble again, go through all this exposition again. And then you know, finally get through it, and then maybe we'd have to reset again. So like every reset here is just going to waste minutes, and you know, instead of like having a backup save file with a good Sobble or something on it, I like to showcase the Ninetales route, which doesn't get featured as much, but I think is more fun definitively. Shout out to shish kebabs, those look delicious. Who doesn't love a good shish kebab? Delicious stuff there. And then we're almost in our first Pokemon battle. I promise. All right, one unique thing that I kind of skipped over here is that this generation does something a little bit different than past generations. So Hop, who is our rival, but he's also like our best friend kind of. Usually the rival will pick the Pokemon that has the type advantage against you. However, in this generation, Hop takes the Pokemon that has weak advantage against you. So for example, we picked Sobble, he picked Scorbunny, and then the champion picked Grookey. So just a little interesting fact there. Hop, all right, so this is our first battle. Obviously, Hop has 2 Pokemon, throws out the Wooloo first, but none of them are of consequence. We really can't lose this fight, particularly. The only thing that can make this a little slow are unnecessary crits, of course, which is always slow in Pokemon. And if your attack is so bad that you can't 3-shot the Wooloo, then you can lose some time. I think we're fine. Yeah, we're fine. So we 3-shot the Wooloo, but your attack stat can be so bad that you might have to 4-shot it. All right, our special attack seems decent. Though the reason why I like to look at special attack is because we use Water Gun a little bit in the early game. If our special attack is good, we can save some time. But obviously now we have access to water gun, which makes the fight against Scorbunny relatively easy. Here's another one of these hop interjections that I always like to talk about. That one is guaranteed though, because we always use water gun there, so we always have type advantage. But if we had also crit, then you would also have a line there that said, wow, you hit me really hard, or something like that. I don't remember, I don't know the line. But something like that. But yeah, that's hop down. Pretty good. Now, if we're doing an any percent run of this game, which is like a little over 4 hours, we'd fight hop like, I don't know, like 10 times. There's a lot of hop fights. Luckily, in this category, we only have to fight hop twice, with that time being the first time. So we're skating through. We're doing the good work. Now is a somewhat slower section as well, so we're going to enter the Slumbering Well to go rescue a Wooloo that has escaped in there. It's kind of like a foggy, mystical type forest, if you will. And it's a mostly scripted section. So what's going to happen here is we're going to enter the forest, we're going to have some dialogue, and then we're going to run through some grass patches, and we're going to hit 3 wild encounters. Now the wild encounters themselves are scripted, as in they will guarantee to pop up every time, and the Pokemon that pop up from those encounters are the same every time. So it's going to be a Squovit, a Rookidee, and then another Squovit. However, the Pokemon themselves are random, just like you would be in a random encounter. So like their stats are randomized, their abilities, you know, things like that. The only reason why I bring this up is that there is a chance to save about 1 second on the Rookidee encounter, which is the second one. Rookidee can have a ability that's called Unnerve, which means that it doesn't allow you to use berries in the fight, but it also tells you at the beginning that Rookidee has Unnerve. If this Rookidee doesn't have Unnerve, we don't have to see that text box, therefore it's faster. Hey, it doesn't, so we saved a free second there. Good on us. And then now we get another, well, we have a cutscene here with, not cutscene, but quick dialogue with Hop, who says, hey, I can heal you if you want, but we're not even messing with these Pokemon, we're just running away from them. And then, yeah, this Squovit. And then, unfortunately, we have what I like to call a interactive cutscene coming up here. And the reason why I call it a cutscene, because technically it's a battle, technically. But it's a scripted battle, nothing can happen. All you can do is attempt to use pound, and it'll fail 3 times as the screen gets progressively more and more foggy. So it's a cutscene because I can't do anything else. So, you know, we get to see like, you know, one of the legendaries of the area, which I guess is pretty cool. But beyond that, it's a cutscene. You know, not much going on here. There we go. Question mark, question mark, question mark appeared. When a Pokemon is level question mark, question mark, question mark, you're probably fine, right? I think it's fine. I think we could take this. I feel like if we defeat this Pokemon, we'll just end this run super early. You know, it's like a sequence break of sorts. Nah, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Like I said, just gonna watch as the screen gets progressively more foggy, and I keep attempting to use pound. That ain't gonna work. As this is a Pokemon run, and I always love to do this with my Pokemon runs, just to create some extra incentive for people to donate and things like that. I mean, the incentive alone is, you know, you donate to No Kids Hungry. This is a great organization that does terrific work. That's the incentive. But if you want even further incentive, feel free in the donations, no matter how much you can donate, whatever helps, you know. If you want to talk about your favorite Pokemon, if you want me to, I would say I would attempt the cries, but I don't know a lot of Pokemon cries. I'm not great that way. But if I know it, I can try it. Or you just want to shout out your Pokemon or donate its dex number or something like that, go ahead and do that in the donations. I'll be happy to read them out and shout them out. Shout out your favorite pokes for a good cause. We're kind of almost through the cutscene. After this cutscene happens, the game opens up a little bit more because we get to go into like our first route with some wild Pokemon and stuff like that. So it opens up a little bit more. However, it is very important, I've done this a number of times, you have to talk to your mom first. You have to go back home, talk to your mom. You can try to skip this. But then Hop will be like, did you go talk to your mom? Which obviously, you know, walking all the way down to Hop and then back, not something we want to do. So, voila. All right. So now we can get on our way. So we're going to head to Route 1. We're going to do some interesting stuff here. So what we're going to do is we're going to catch a Pokemon. I know, novel idea. But specifically, we want to catch a Wooloo if we can. And even further specifically, if that Wooloo is level 5 or 6, that is the most ideal. If the Wooloo is level 5 or 6, when we catch it, we will go up a level, because this generation also includes the fact that if you catch Pokemon, you gain experience points as well. You don't just have to defeat Pokemon. We would hit level 8 early, basically. So that would be great for a couple fights coming up in the future. So let's see what Wooloo we got. Level 3. That's fine. We still have to catch a Pokemon regardless, even if we don't hit level 8. The reason why is because on Route 2, Leon will attempt to give us a catch tutorial, which we don't want. How we skip that is by catching a Pokemon before the tutorial is set to happen. The game reads that, says, oh, you know how to catch Pokemon, you don't need a tutorial. We skip that. Also, getting the experience is handy, even if it doesn't get us to level 8. Oh, did I really hit that Squovit? That Squovit, like, nicked me in the ankle. Yeah, fun stuff. I should mention as well, one thing that's really good, speedrunner friendly about this generation of games is obviously you can see the wild Pokemon in the grass, which is great. So you don't have to depend on things like repels and stuff, because you can just see them pop up, except when they nick you in the ankle like that and you still hit them randomly. That's not great, but you know, what can you do? So we're going to meet the professor of this region's assistant, Sonia. She's going to give us our Pokedex and stuff. So that's fun. Pokedex in this gen is an actual Pokemon. It's a Rotom. So that's cool. Also, shout outs to Yamper. Cute little electric Corgi Pokemon. I'm a big sucker for dog Pokemon. My favorite types of Pokemon. If I were a trainer IRL, I would want an all-dog team. And Yamper would definitely be on there, because Yamper is definitely a cutie pie. But yeah, we got our Pokedex here. It's just a cutscene. But after this, we'll regain control. We'll head back outside, and we're actually going to grab one kind of hidden item that will be potentially important, but not for a long time. So very cryptic, I know, but we'll get there. Shouts to Yamper again. Also has like a heart shape on its rear, which, I mean, who doesn't love that? Just adorable. Just adorable. This random stranger gives us potions, which actually are very handy, so thank you, random stranger. But we're not going to head towards the stranger. We're going to head away from the stranger. Grab this item in this grove here, which is a rare candy. We might have to use this later. We'll see. But we'll talk about that, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Now we got Hop up here is going to tell us about Pokemon centers. This game's a little hand-holdy, obviously. It assumes you've never played a Pokemon game before, so it tells you everything. However, very important speed tech here. When we're in here, very important speed tech, very hard. Make sure you scroll down and hit a course not. Because if not, Hop gives you like a 15-second like tour of the Pokemon Center, which we don't want. Oops. All right, we're gonna deposit the Wooloo, which because we just don't need it. We only caught it to skip the tutorial and get a little bit of XP. We're actually gonna run over here to Berry Salesman. Oh, I'm talking to the wrong NPC. That's why. We're going to grab 3 Pekka berries, which if you're unfamiliar, Pekka berries are berries that cure poison. That will come into play a little bit later as well, but we'll, again, cross that bridge when we get to it. I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. Another little cutscene where Hop just decides to tell us about the gym challenge in the middle of the road, you know, classic Hop. And then we're now crossing the bridge into Route 2, which is where, right here is where the catch tutorial would be, because Leon is going to come here, but we skip it. So that's great. Speed tech. We're actually going to fight 2 trainers on Route 2. There are actually 3 trainers on Route 2, but we were able to skip one with a very creative movement. And you'll see what I mean in a second. The reason why we were hoping to hit level 8 is because this first trainer has a Squovit. If we were level 8 for that Squovit, we could potentially 2-shot the Squovit, but we're probably going to 3-shot it, maybe even have to 4-shot it, depending on what our special attack is, because we're not quite level 8. So it just saves us a turn or two if we're, you know, level up or 8. But here's the first trainer we fight. And just has the Squovit. That's all it has, just the Squovit. So it's not like any of these fights are dangerous. We just can do them faster or slower depending on what we're given. So pretty good. All right, so and all these fights are water gun to win for the most part. So this looks like it's gonna be a 3-shot unless we get low rolls. And what I mean by low rolls, so basically every time you use an attack, there is one of 16 values that can be associated with your damage. Now they're not 16 distinct values. Some, you know, like for example, 5 of them could be like, oh, you're gonna do 10 damage, and then another 5 could be, oh, you're gonna do 11 damage, and another 5 can be, you're gonna do 12 damage, with the 16th being 13 damage or something like that. A low roll is basically if you get a lower end of damage. That's what I mean by that. Here's the trainer that we're gonna skip. Watch this. Whoop. Speed tech. We're just gonna walk her behind her, and then we can't avoid this one. Now this trainer is a little bit more annoying. Again, not a danger to us, but can be fast or slow depending on what we're given. Has 2 Pokemon, Blipbug, which Blipbug stinks because Blipbug always uses Struggle Bug, which when it hits lowers our special attack. And of course it's a 100% accurate move, so it's always gonna hit unless we like get a magic crit and one-shot it or something like that. But the reason why lowering special attack in particular is bad is because Water Gun is a move that is based on your special attack. Now, however, it's still faster to use Water Gun with your special attack, you know, fallen a little bit, because our attack, even with Pound is a pretty weak move, so we don't want to have to depend on Pound if we don't want to. Now, Nickit is the second Pokemon that hops out, which Nickit loves to use Quick Attack, which doesn't matter for the first like 3 turns that we fight it, but we don't want to see Quick Attack on the 4th turn, so we can save about half a turn. Also, if we got like a magic crit or something, that would be great, because not only do crits do more damage, they ignore your status effects, so that speed attack fall that I would have gotten wouldn't matter. Don't use Quick Attack here. Ah, darn. We lose the half turn. So yeah, that would have saved us some time, but no dice. So we got some slow fights and we hit an encounter. Not my best split, but that's okay. As it is with Pokemon, these are RNG heavy runs. RNG heavy. And you're gonna see a number of instances of RNG where I'm sure I'm just gonna be like, come on, give it to me, you know, just something to help me out here. But the estimate is generous to account for bad RNG. The estimate, obviously, you can see an hour 45. For reference, my PB in this category is an hour 31, so there's about 15 minutes of leeway there, which is usually fine. That's usually fine. Again, you can't fully predict a Pokemon run, so you never know, but yeah, that'll be fine. 15 minutes of leeway is usually very solid. This is the professor of the region, by the way, Magnolia. We talked to her a little bit. We're going to come out here and fight Hop for the second and last time, by the way. Oop, if I could talk to him, that'd be good. Oops. Waste some time by accidentally hitting no, I don't want to fight. Whoopsie daisy. That's the downside of matching A and B to get through text faster. If you match a little too long, you'll accidentally cancel out of some options. So not great. Hop fight, this is all pretty standard. It's Water Gun to win. Hop has 3 Pokemon this time. The Wooloo, the Scorbunny, adds a Rookidee at the end. Wooloo is fine. Wooloo is of no consequence unless we get like a useless crit or something like that. But like Wooloo can't do anything to us. We're gonna Water Gun to win. Usually takes 2 shots. This second shot, I for whatever reason, the second shot on the Wooloo, I oftentimes get a crit here, which is useless. And then if we do get a crit, Hop loves to talk about it, so it's a double time waster. Now Scorbunny is next. This is where it can get annoying. So Scorbunny, we're gonna 2-shot as well, again, unless we crit it or something. Score Bunny's gonna use one of two moves here, Tackle or Ember. We really want Tackle. If he uses Ember, Hop is gonna throw out an extra line. He used Ember, of course. Hop, don't you know we're trying to go fast for the kids? We're trying to go fast. But yeah, if he used Tackle, he wouldn't have that line about, you know, I don't know, our fire burns bright with blah, 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 some anime line. Wouldn't have that. Yeah, no consequence to us unless like burns us or something, but even then, like the last practice run I did, I actually did get burned here, which is very unlikely. And it doesn't really affect anything beyond getting some extra text boxes, so doesn't happen. This rookie D always has Unnerve, unfortunately, so we don't have the chance to skip at that text box. But yeah, this fight went pretty much as it always goes, because for some reason I always get Ember. Like very rarely do I get Tackle on the Score Bunny, so that's pretty standard Hop 2 fight. All right, so we're gonna have a long cutscene here that's gonna introduce the kind of gimmick move of Gen 8, which is Dynamaxing and Gigantamaxing. If you're unfamiliar, it basically just makes your Pokemon huge and strong, which we will be Dynamaxing one time in this run, so you will get to see it. So if you're into it, that's good. But yeah, these witching stars come from the sky and blah, blah, blah. We use them to make Dynamax bands, you know, yada, yada, yada. Just story exposition. Here they come. So we have a long cutscene here, but after this, we're going to head to the wild area, which, if you're unfamiliar, is also a new addition to this. As opposed to having a lot of long routes with like grass areas in between major cities, there's this wild area, which is just like a huge expansive area with a lot of different wild Pokemon in it that can change based on the time of day, the season, things like that. The weather, you know, pretty cool stuff. So it's pretty cool. Once we get into that wild area, that is where the two main routes heavily diverge. So for example, I'm going to be doing the Ninetales route. So we're going to be picking up a Firestone, catching a Vulpix, fighting an extra Pokemon to get that Vulpix some extra experience, things like that. In the Sobble route, you fight some extra Pokemon. We take an extra Pokemon Center because we got to get some more items to use that we don't need with Ninetales. And then we make our way back. So the wild area section is always longer with Ninetales because you have to do some extra steps, but you gain that time up later on where because the Sobble route has like an extra shop and you do have to like, for example, the Sobble will evolve into Drizzile at a part where we just save that time because we don't have to worry about the evolution, things like that. So we lose time to gain time later on. First, to get to the wild area, though, of course, we got to just make our way to the train station. So we got to get back through Route 2. After this little cutscene with Hop here. Almost the last we'll see of Hop. We have one more, like a couple more cutscenes with them, but that's about it. So we got to make our way back, hopefully not hitting any wild encounters if we can avoid it. Still dodging that trainer. One of the first runs I did, I forgot to walk around the rock there, and I hit that trainer after dodging it. So yeah, that's fun stuff. I've also hit that Choodle by accident before. That's happened. Ooh, okay. So whenever I see a Zigzagoon, I always like panic a little bit because Zigzagoons move like rapidly fast. So you could be standing far away from a Zigzagoon and it'll just charge you because they just move, they just zip around. So I got a little nervous there, but we still skipped by it, so that's fine. All right, so we're gonna go down the cutscene. Rather, we're gonna go down to the train station, hit another cutscene. He's gonna give us a TM for Swift. We don't need it. We just have to do it to further the story. We're gonna get to see our moms again. Shout out to moms. You know, Mother's Day in the U.S. wasn't that long ago. Hope you all called your moms. Hope you got them something nice. They deserve it. There are moms. Now, after this, we'll finally get on the train. We'll get to go to the wild area. We'll still have a little bit of a cutscene, but yeah, that's to be expected. The cutscenes really, you know, at least they get significantly fewer and fewer after we get access to movement in the wild area. We will still have some. I'm not going to say we won't have some. Later gens love cutscenes, but also shout out to this guy who I call Track Burns, who has train tracks shaved into his sideburns, and I can't imagine being as dedicated to a job as this guy. So shout out to Track Burns. All right, cool. So here's the wild area. We got a little cutscene explaining what the wild area is, yada yada yada. Now, if you remember, at the very start of the run, I set my switch clock in date to a very specific time and date, and that does two things. One, it's gonna enable us to get a lot of Vulpix spawning around in the wild area, and two, it's going to make the weather drought, which when the weather is in drought, it ups the power of fire type moves. So you can see why that would be advantageous for us. Also, a cool addition to this gen is the Pokemon box link, which means that we can access our PC box wherever we are, which is great. So we don't have to go to a Pokemon Center to use the PC. Big shout out, big shout out. So like I said, these are where the two routes heavily diverge. Okay, so right from this first Pokemon. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna gain control and we're gonna run over to this Onix. If we were doing the Sobble route, we're wanting to defeat this Onix for experience. But because we're doing the Ninetales route, we actually want this Onix to kill us as fast as possible because we're going to utilize a Death Warp here. Now, whenever you want to die, of course, the Onix doesn't want to kill you, and whenever you want to kill it, it'll kill you first. Curse is not good. So the Onix has 4 moves, obviously, like most Pokemon do. 2 hurt you and 2 don't. Rock Slide is the one you want. Hit, please. Thank you. Rock Slide is the one you want because it can one-shot you. However, it's not a 100% accurate move. So even if Onix decides to use Rock Slide, it can still miss, which we don't love. But the other damaging move it has is Dragon's Breath, which is a 100% accurate move, but it doesn't kill you one shot. It takes 2 shots, unless it crits. But what happens is we die there. The NPC next to the train station was like, oh, looks like you're having a rough time. Do you want me to warp you to the gates of the next city? We say yes, not because we want to go in that city, but because we want to head over and cross this bridge over here. Once we cross this bridge and over to the other side, we're going to be picking up a Firestone, which if you remember, I'm doing the Ninetales route. You can imagine what we might use the Firestone for, rather. So here we go. We're going to bop up here. And we're going to bop over there. Afterwards, we're going to do another Death Warp on hopefully a Skorupi, but a Rhyhorn is fine. Just Rhyhorn has Scary Face and it can, do that. But while we're doing that and while we're Death Warping, we did have a few donations come through, which I'm going to read. First one is a $20 donation, again from Steve TV Online, that says, stop having runs, dude. I need to stop donating. Thank you so much for continuing to donate, Steve. I really appreciate it. Great member of my community, one of my mods. Thank you so much. And we also had a $19 donation from Matt Rad. He said, here's my $19 donation for Dex number 19 Rattata, my favorite. No, my name is not Joey. Shoutouts to Gen 1. Or Gen 2. Is that Gen 2? I don't remember. One of the gens. Youngster Joey with his Rattata. Thank you so much for that donation, Maddie Ratty. So yeah, we Death Warp there. Obviously, it warps us back to the beginning area again. This time, we don't want to take that warp to the next gate of the city. Tyrogue, no! Okay, fine. Tyrogue can chase us down. A little scary. So now we head back and we encounter some Vulpix. So they can range from level 7 to 10 here. 7 we can't use. 9 is good. So we're going to catch this Vulpix. And then we need it to have some specific stats. Specifically, we want it to have good special attack and good speed. So for a level 9 Vulpix, what we're hoping to see is that it has at least 15 special attack and at least 17 speed. We can take 1 less of each of those, potentially. But if it has both of those, that's great. All right, so we got our Vulpix. Let's check its stats now. We're gonna go on our Pokemon. All right, so it has 16 and 16. That's fine, we can take that. Speed is a little slow. Speed is definitely the least important of the 2 stats that we need. Special attack is what we need because we're going to be using a lot of fire-based moves. But our special attack is good, so I like that. So this is the right Vulpix. But even if it wasn't, you can see there's Vulpix way around me. So like, this Vulpix stinks, that's fine. I'll just deposit and catch a new one. It saves a lot more time than resetting for better Sobble. All right, so now we got Ninetales up front. We need to get Ninetales a little bit more extra XP, which is fine because we're actually going to go fight a Ninjask over here that pops up. Ninjask is a very fast but bug Pokemon, so we can take it out relatively quickly. Especially if our special attack is good, we might be able to two-shot it since we're level 9. More often than not, you have to three-shot it, but let's see what we get. Alright, looks like we can two-shot it, which is good. Ninjask gets the speed boost, which doesn't matter. It's faster than us by default anyway. Ooh, please don't kill me, actually. Okay, fine. Okay, we're alright. We are going to have to heal, but that's fine. Useless crit. Who doesn't love that extra crit box? You know what I mean? Okay, so we get some extra experience here for our good old Ninetales. So now we're going to walk back to the train station. We're going to do something that is also a new addition to Gen 8, which is very, very handy for speedrunning. So we're actually going to take the train back to Wedgehurst, which was the previous town before we hit the wild area here. And we're going to go to the Pokemon Center. On the left side of the Pokemon Center is a person that can teach your Pokemon moves. Now, before, you know, a move teacher in a Pokemon game would be able to teach moves that your Pokemon has already learned. In this generation, however, it will teach you moves for the Pokemon from its entire move pool, regardless of whether you've learned the move already or not, which is great. So that means we basically have access to Ninetales' entire move pool from level 1 to 100, and we can just choose the 4 best moves that are beneficial for the run. So that's very handy. We're going to go do that. So we're going to run over to this Pokemon Center, and we're going to go teach our Ninetales some moves. All right, so Ninetales. First move we're going to teach it is Nasty Plot, which is a dark type move that heavily boosts your special attack. And you can see why that might be useful. Second move we're going to teach, Flamethrower, which I don't think I need to explain why that's useful. It's a powerful fire type move. Third move we're going to teach is Safeguard, which is a move. It's a normal type move, but when you use it, basically it makes it so that you have 5 turns where you cannot have your status change. Meaning like you can't get poisoned, you can't get confused and stuff like that. So you can see why that might be useful for certain fights. And then Fire Blast, which is another just heavily big power fire type move. There we go. Now we got our customized Ninetales. All right, so now we get into the DLC portions here. So we're going to talk to this. This is Clara right in front of us. So depending on which version of the game you're playing, Sword or Shield, you'll actually have a different antagonist for the DLC depending on the version. So Clara is specific to Sword, and she's a poison type specialist. If you play the Shield version, you'll have Avery, who is a psychic type specialist. They both have their perks and things like that. So it doesn't particularly matter which version of the game you use to run this category, because they end up being close to the same. However, the Slowpoke comes out of the train. We cannot just defeat the Slowpoke, we have to specifically catch it. So what we do here is we use Flamethrower. Please don't kill my Ninetales. Thank you. And then we're actually going to swap. The reason why we have to swap here, not only just to save our Ninetales from certain death, obviously, but this game has a mechanic where if a Pokemon is higher level than you, it is significantly harder to catch. Which you might have noticed, my Ninetales is level 11, the Slowpoke is level 12, so it would have been a really hard time for me to catch it with the Ninetales. However, I swapped to my Sobble, which is the same level, level 12, and it becomes significantly easier to catch. In the Sobble route, since we don't have a second Pokemon here, what we do instead is we actually get a Quick Ball, and we just throw it right away. So you can imagine that would be faster, but you have to also go get the Quick Ball, so, you know, it's a little give and takey. All right, and then we finally will be heading on over to the Isle of Armor, the DLC section. So we are out of the way after we get on the flying train car, I guess, for lack of a better term. We will be heading on to the Isle of Armor. So we are out of the base game. Great stuff. Oh yeah, so yeah, that's right. We take a train to a flying cart, like a skyway of sorts. So here's the Isle of Armor. We're definitely going to do a few things as soon as we gain control. We're going to be doing a little bit of a long menu, a little bit of a long one, especially since we have to heal. So, all right. First, this Professor's Aid updates our Pokédex so we can catch the Isle of Armor Pokemon. Obviously, very important. Except we don't really catch anything here. Okay, now we're going to menu. First, let's heal. Actually, first, let's equip the Cherry Berry to Ninetales. And then we'll heal it. I'll explain what the Cherry Berry does in a second. Now we're going to go to our box, and we're going to deposit both the Sobble and the Slowpoke. And then we're going to go over here to a cutscene. So yeah, I equipped the Cherry Berry. Cherry Berry is a berry that heals paralysis, which will not matter. We're actually going to fight Clara here in a second, which doesn't. So this doesn't matter for Clara. Because she doesn't have anything that will paralyze us, but it matters for the fight after that, and I'm equipping it now because I have to menu anyway, so it saves me from doing a second menu, and because I have no danger of being paralyzed by Clara, it doesn't matter if I have the berry equipped or not, so it's fine. Before we fight Clara though, we're going to do one little shopping trip here. We're going to buy 11 potions. No, I'm still shopping. We're going to buy 11 awakenings, which we'll get into a little bit why the awakenings are important in a bit. But we head out here, and we're gonna fight Clara. Now, Clara 1 is pretty easy. Spoiler alert: we're gonna fight Clara 3 times in this DLC. So the first one is not too bad, especially since I healed up. It's probably fine. Pretty standard. Clara 2 is the easiest by far, and Clara 3 is the one where you can just die for no reason. We'll cross those bridges when we get to them. But Clara's got 2 Pokemon here. She's going to have a Ventipede, and she's going to have a Slowpoke. Which you might be wondering, like, why Slowpoke if she's a Poison-type specialist, right? That's a little weird. But the Slowpoke she uses is specifically a Galarian Slowpoke, which changes its typing. A Galarian Slowpoke is no longer a Water type, it's a Poison and Psychic type. So, it makes it a little bit different. Alright, so we use Nasty Plot to heavily bump up our special attack here. We're going to Flamethrower the Ventipede. It's a bug type, so you know it's going to go down. And then the next turn, we will fight the Slowpoke, which depending on... If we were level 12, it definitely would have killed. Depending on our special attack, the Slowpoke might take 2 shots to kill. Depends on our rolls, depends on our special attack. There's a lot of factors here. So let's see what we get. Okay, no, we got the 1 shot still. Great. Ideal. And that's Clara 1 down. Easy as pie. All right, so if you're unfamiliar with the Isle of Armor DLC, the basic gist of the story is there is a dojo on this island. We're going to enter into the dojo and take on its challenges. There's gonna be 3 challenges. And once we complete those 3 challenges, we'll gain access to what is called the secret armor of the island. I won't spoil what that is yet because it'll come up later on. But we will need that secret armor of the island to complete the main quest line. So we'll get there. For now, we're just going to do some walking. Unfortunately, as we get close to this bridge, there's going to be another NPC who's going to tell us about Alolan Diglets popping up all over the island. He wants you to find them all. There's 150 on the island. I don't have time for that, so I ain't going to do it, but I'm sure somebody has. I don't really know what... I don't even know what he gives you if you do it. Like, I don't know what the reward is. Hopefully it's something significant. Cool. All right, so now we cross the bridge. Get another cutscene with Clara and the wife of the dojo leader. And the dojo leader is a very fun character. Well, first of all, the dojo leader's name is Mustard. Who doesn't love that? And just wait till you see him. I always like to point out his character model here because it's very, very fun. That's right, you're NKH. That's right, no kid hungry. Don't forget, get those donations in. I'm sure we got a lot of excellent incentives and bid wars and everything going on for the rest of the marathon. I've been thoroughly enjoying this event, so hopefully you can get your donations in, help meet those incentives, and help feed some kids. I mean, it's such a great cause. Don't forget about our unofficial incentive for donating towards your Dex number Pokemon. I'm happy to shout them out. Just throw them on my way. All right, so we're gonna head in here and we're gonna meet Mustard. Also, by the way, we get a free heal here. So there's a lot of free heals, which is great. You might have noticed we got a free heal before we fought Hop the second time. The Death Warps give us a free heal, obviously. We get a lot of free heals. Right, so right now we're at full health, even though I was weakened after the Clara fight, so. All right, here's Mustard. Look at those eyebrows. Look at those eyebrows. Now you might be wondering, oh, he's got a hat, so you know it's his hair, right? I'll prove to you later that it's not his hair, it is indeed his eyebrows. But his eyebrows go past his chin, and that's something. I just think that's neat. But we're gonna fight Mustard here, and this fight 95% of the time goes as scripted. There's that 5% chance that can go awry. So what's going to happen here? We're going to use Nasty Plot first. Almost always the Mean Foo that he has out here will use Fake Out, which means we'll flinch. So that almost always happens. Yep, so use Fake Out, we're going to flinch. So not going to work out. We're going to use Nasty Plot again, so we actually use it. He's going to use Force Palm, which can paralyze us, which is why we have the Cherry Berry equipped. And then we're going to use Fire Blast and hope it hits. Yes, great. So Fire Blast, obviously a very powerful fire type move, but it's not 100% accurate. I believe it's 85 or 80% accurate. So it could easily have missed there. But now that Mean Foo is dead, we don't really have a problem anymore. This Shinx is not an issue. We've Nasty Plotted. We're actually going to go up and Flamethrower, which is 100% accurate, and it will be taken care of. So this is exactly how the fight is supposed to go. But some things can go awry. Weirdly enough, Mustard is not locked into that moveset he does. That's just his most likely combination. So sometimes he'll use different moves, and you're just like, whoa, why? Who's this Mustard? But also, it goes awry if you miss the Fire Blast. You'll just die after. Now, luckily, we die. Since Ninetales is our only Pokemon, we white out. We end up right back in the dojo. So it doesn't waste a lot of time beyond what you just lost from dying itself. So it's not the end of the world. But yeah, we don't want to deal with that. So we get some nifty dojo clothes. We actually have the option to change out of them, but it's slower to do so. So we're gonna stick with the dojo clothes. Now, Mustard is explaining here about the 3 trials. The first trial, now Clara comes up here. Clara's upset because she doesn't have one of these nifty dojo uniforms. She gets one, and then they're stolen. But by who? Who could have been fast enough to steal the dojo uniform? Couldn't be these slowpokes, right? Nah, it can't be these slowpokes. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. They're slow. Except for one thing. They're super fast. These are some fast slowpokes. They're fast pokes. So our first challenge is we have to catch and defeat those 3 slowpokes. So that's what we're going to do. They are, luckily enough for us, they're in the same area every time. Unlucky enough for us, they can really make the experience interesting. We'll say it that way. They all have the same moveset, but they're all random as to what moves they use. They don't have like smart AI or anything like that. So you'll see as we get into some of these fights how it could be interesting. First, though, I was already on potions. I thought it was one over. We're actually going to heal there because we'll probably need to before we exit. No free heal at this point. So we're going to watch these fast pokes just absolutely take off. And each of them has a specific piece of Clara's dojo uniform. That's why you have to defeat all three as well. All right, so this is again a wild divergence of the path. Obviously, we're using Ninetales over Sobble and the other route, but the Sobble route will actually do a shop there. There's actually a berry shop person that's right outside there next to the little farm area. So you buy some berries, you pick up an extra move over here, a TM, which is actually right next to that log straight ahead of us. You teach that move, and then you also, not in this, after this fight, after the second one, you would evolve. So there's a lot more slowness with the Sobble route here, whereas Ninetales, we just go right to the source. So same moves for all three. Yawn first turn is terrible. We hate that. Hopefully, let's get a crit. Can we crit? Can we please crit? No, can't be so lucky. So Yawn is a move that will put you to sleep after the second turn. Getting it on turn 1 is unfortunate because most of these fights take 3 turns. Getting Disable is also very unfortunate because now we have to depend on Fire Blast. So this Slowpoke did all of the trolls, basically. Put us to sleep. Of course, Fire Blast missed as well. Great. So that was a pretty slow one, unfortunately. The fastest it can be is 2 turns if we get a crit, but most of them take 3 turns if they go according to plan. But that was awful. So we got the Dojo Jacket, 1 piece down. We're gonna run over here. You can see that second one in the distance. I saw you, Choodle. I've run into Pokemon there that blend in with the environment, so luckily that wasn't the case. All right, Slowpoke number 2. Let's see if we can get a little bit more lucky this time. All right, so nasty plot. Acid first turn is fine. That's fine with me. Acid, yeah, turn 2 is fine. Just don't use Disable, and then this will be. Oh, we got the crit! Yeah, that's fast. Let's go. You don't get these crits very often. That's as fast as it can go. All right, one more Slowpoke, which is just down this way. That Drapion we're passing by right now, that's going to come in handy in a little bit. And it always looks like you can if I was just a little bit faster, I could have hit that cycle, but no, you will always miss it. You got to walk around. Okay, so this Slowpoke now. See if this one will be kind. Disable turn 1 is fine, because it disables the move you used previously, but turn 1, obviously we haven't used one, so that's great. Just don't use Disable on turn 3, and we're fine. Good, we're good. We're good. So besides the first Slowpoke, we actually got pretty lucky there. Not too shabby at all. Great. All right, so we're gonna head backwards here. And that Drapion I said before, we're actually going to attempt to do Death Warp off of it. This can vary in speed. Ideally it uses something like Bite or Venoshock, but it could also use Bug Bite, which won't kill us. So hopefully it uses Bite or Venoshock to take us out quick. Toxic Spikes is even worse because it doesn't damage us at all. Oh, wow. We're getting the ringer on this. We're getting the ringer on this Drapion. Gave us like the 2 other moves that we didn't want. Oh my god. Please kill me. Like, it might have been faster to walk at this point. What is happening? Please kill me. Please kill me. Okay, thank you. What the heck? That's the worst Drapion fight I've ever had. I've never had it go that poorly. Like, Toxic Spikes it almost never uses, and it used it like 3 times there. I get Bug Bite a decent amount, so that's fine. I was used to bug bite. Well, geez, that was terrible. Might have been faster to walk at that point. Anyway, so we death warp back to the dojo. Weirdly enough, we give Clara her uniform, which she was so upset about not getting, and she never changes into it. So, interesting. We also get a reward here. So we get to choose between Bulbasaur or Squirtle. We get to choose one of the two. It doesn't matter for the speedrun which one you pick at all. So I'm gonna pick, you know, I feel like Bulbasaur is more of a fan favorite. I don't know. It goes back and forth. Sometimes I have this as a bid war for marathons. And I feel like usually Bulbasaur wins. So I feel like that's mainly people like Bulbasaur the most. But if you're asking me, you know who I would have chosen. You know who I would have chosen right there. But like I said, it doesn't matter at all for the speedrun. Doesn't matter in the slightest. One thing that I like that this game does, and it might have been done in a few previous generations, is whenever you have a choice of Pokemon like this, you don't just like see the Pokeball sitting on the table for the rest of eternity just getting ignored. They always have another destination for the other Pokemon. So for example, when we were picking our starter Pokemon, we got Sobble, our rival got Scorbunny, and then Leon was like, well, you're not going to go to Wasteland Grookey, you're going to come with me. So that one got used. Now the Squirtle is going to run off with Honey, Mustard's wife, and live with her and be with her. So you know that they still have good lives after. Isn't that sweet? I think that's nice. Okay, so we're gonna menu here. We're gonna equip the Pekka Berry, which will be important for later. We're gonna go into our Pokemon box and deposit this Bulbasaur because we don't need it. And we're gonna leave. So challenge 2 is to find some max mushrooms to help make some max soup for the people of the dojo. Max mushrooms are a very interesting item. So if you just feed them to your Pokemon out of battle, it makes it so that they'll be able to Gigantamax at some point. But they're actually also useful in battle as items. And that is where it's actually relevant to the speedrun, because max mushrooms, when used in battle, raise every stat at once. Every one of your stats. So not just one, raise them all. So very, very useful stuff. And we use we get 3 max mushrooms and we use 2 of them. So they definitely have their uses. First, we got to go find them though. Luckily for us, they're always in the same spot. So we got to traverse through these woods as fast as possible. We are going to take a couple tiny detours to get a couple of important healing items for later on. So we can grab this one, Hyper Potion. We're gonna carefully avoid that pincer. Camera likes to play tricks on us at that point. Hey, there we go. Walk across these bridges. So it's obviously very far away. Luckily enough for us, Mustard warps us halfway there from the cutscene. So we don't have to cross over the whole swamp area to get to the forest, to get to this open area. We just get to start at the forest. So that's nice at least. But yeah, one more detour. We're gonna cross through these Pokemon here. We're gonna hit this Pokeball, which is Moo Moo Milk. Shout outs to Zelda. But also is a useful item here. Another healing item for us. Then we're going to enter this cave, which is where the mushrooms are going to be. Oops. All right, here we go. Heading down. Grab these max mushrooms. And then we're going to enter into a cutscene. And this is actually the Clara 2 fight. And this fight is free. And I don't even say that like, oh, it's mostly free, almost nothing can happen. Like, it's free. It's free to the point that we actually have to stall to take more damage because we're going to death warp after. So it's like uber free. We actually hope to get crit on to expedite it a little bit. So she's got 3 Pokemon. She sends out Slowpoke the first time. because we have to stall a little bit, we're actually going to use Safeguard here. And that is because Slowpoke loves to spam Confusion. And we do not want to get confused. So we Safeguard first. And for the rest of the turn, we're just going to keep buffing up our special attack while we take damage here. And that will just make the fight go very fast afterwards. Let's see. Is this going to be the last one we take? Yeah, I'm not going to risk 13. I think I could die at 13 technically with like a high roll, so I'm not going to risk that. Or I crit, obviously. We don't need to risk any crit deaths. But our special attack is super buffed up. We're just gonna skate through here. So she has a coughing now, by coughing. Her Ventipede has evolved into a Whirlipede, which is what's coming out next. And obviously still bug type, still not a problem for us. Bye. There we go. So that's Clara. Told you. Free as can be. Now the unfortunate thing is our health is a little high, so this Death Warp can take some time depending on what we get. So what we're going to look for here is actually a Sandshrew, because it has the most damaging moves. It could take us out quickest. Now I usually get lucky, so after this little mushroom cutscene, and we're going to be on the phone for a second, almost always, for whatever reason, just to my left there will be a Sandshrew there. I don't know why, but it's like the one piece of luck I always get. So let's see. Nope, didn't get it this time though, but trust me, it's there. Oh geez. No, I'm gonna run. I was gonna say I might try to Death Warp off this Torkoal, but it's a fire type and also doesn't have a lot of damaging moves, so that could just be unnecessarily long. But there's also no... Are you kidding? Was it Torkoal City? Can I get a Sandshrew, please? What is this? Give me a Sandshrew. They're not rare here. Kangaskhan, can you kill me? I might come back to you. We'll see. All right, Kangaskhan. Try and take me out. I'm not going to keep looking for a Sandshrew. I don't know. Can Kangaskhan even take me out? I don't know. We're all finding this out live, okay? Please hurt me? Okay. Okay, good. All right. Great. Wonderful. Still faster than walking back. This one is super far away. That walk would have taken like 3 minutes, so this is still faster. All right, so we got our max mushrooms. Nobody else in the dojo was able to get these max mushrooms, except, as you'll find out in a few minutes, Claire is going to come in at the last second and say she got some. And then she's going to insist that we use her max mushrooms for the soup instead of ours, which is fine with us. That means we get to keep our max mushrooms, which, like I said, very important battle items, so that's good. But geez, these two Death Warps that I've had have not been good. That's wild. Luckily enough for us, the Onyx Death Warp and the Rhyhorn Death Warp we took earlier were both very fast, so I can't complain. Those usually are the ones that troll me, and I usually get these ones fast, so it's just a little reverse action this time. Another reason why I like this DLC is I like the dialogue sometimes. Like you're about to see some, that's the max mushroom soup, max soup. You'll see we're gonna eat the soup. Ready? Wow, we feel Dynamax energy with us? And then Mustard's like, no you don't. That's not how this works. You're not a Pokemon, you don't feel nothing. You just have some nice soup. All right, so now we're going to head on into Challenge 3, which Challenge 3 is just a straight up fight between Clara and myself, as we're the only two dojo members who have completed the first 2 challenges. So we're just going to have a fight. This will be our 3rd and last fight with Clara, and this is by far the worst. It's usually free. It's usually free. One thing that can happen that can ruin this fight is her Slowbro. Now, she's gonna have a Slowbro, The Slowbro has an ability called Quick Draw. Now, Quick Draw is an ability that when it activates, which is about at the 30% chance, I think, when it activates, no matter what the opposite Pokemon speed is, Slowbro will get to go first. If we get Quick Drawed, we will almost certainly die. Almost certainly. So we really don't want Quick Draw. If we don't get Quick Drawed, it's free. Like, we'll just win. But if we get Quick Drawed, we're probably going to die. So, and like I said, it's just a 30% chance. Does it happen or does it not happen? In my practice runs lately, I haven't gotten it, which makes me think I'll probably get Quick Drawed here, if I had to guess. But we're going to save before to avoid that, so. So I run up to Clara, we're going to save. Great. You also, if you remember, I equipped a Pekka Berry quite a bit ago. And if you remember, oops, I accidentally hit no by mashing too much again. Whoops. So we get to see that dialogue sequence again. If you remember, Pekka Berries cure poison. And that is important for this fight specifically because Clara tries to cheat this fight a little bit. So we're going to go into the fight and she'll be like, oh, coincidentally, there are just toxic spikes all over the ground. Whoops. So like when you start the fight, you're supposed to start poisoned. But because we have the Pekka Berry equipped, we'll heal our poison right away, which is very good. All right, so here we go. Get the RNGs in chat, you know, wish me the best of luck. We don't want Quick Draw, no Quick Draw. But we still have a few Pokemon to go before that, as well as some setup. So, should I throw out the Skorupi? Skorupi is what we're going to do our setup on. All right, so first we're going to use Safeguard because Skorupi spams Poison Tail. We don't want to be poisoned again, so we're going to start with Safeguard. Oops. Go, Safeguard. Okay, great. So now we're going to go into our bag. We're going to use our max mushrooms, which is great. We're going to go back in our moves. We're going to buff up our Nasty Plot a little bit more. Nasty Plot, so buff up our special attack a little bit more. We're actually going to heal after this as well. So let's, we're going to get our Hyper Potion here. This is just for safety. I probably didn't need to heal there, but if we got crit, we would be dead. Nasty Plot again. And we're finally gonna, since Safeguard is gone, we're gonna land our hit now. Boom. So Skorupi is down. Now, as I mentioned, we're gonna Dynamax fight. We're gonna Dynamax one time in this run, and it's gonna be right now. So he's gonna throw out a Weezing. We're gonna Dynamax on the Weezing. If you're unfamiliar with how Dynamaxing works, by the way, so Dynamaxing will last for 3 turns. She has 3 Pokemon left, so ideally we just Dynamax through the end. This can change if Slowbro goes not according to plan. So let's see what happens. But I do love this. So we have this like epic moment. Look at this. We have giant Ninetales now, right? And then here's what's gonna happen. Dink. Little anticlimactic. But so we use Max Flare, which creates Drought. That's another thing. Because we're so big, our moves create like weather effects in the battle, which creates Drought, boosts up fire type moves. So Max Flare here again. Whirlipede is nothing. Bye. All right, here it is. Slowbro. No Quick Draw. Come on. Come on, no Quick Draw. Please. Please. Please no Quick Draw. Please no Quick Draw. Please no Quick Draw. Come on. Yes. Yes. Thank God. We would know right before we would know before she Dynamaxed her Slowbro if it got Quick Draw. The one time that I did this run and it went over estimate, I had to do this clarify 4 times because I got Quick Draw 3 times. Which, like I said, is 30%, so it's not like it's super likely. But yeah, I got Quick Draw 3 times, which just cost me all kinds of time. But nope. Bye, Slowbro. We got through it. And that's the Clara 3 fight. Scariest part in the run by far. All right. So now we are, after this cutscene, we're gonna say goodbye to our Ninetales. We're not gonna like release it or anything, but we are not gonna be able to use Ninetales for the rest of this run. So you might think, oh, we got through the 3 challenges, right? Now we're gonna get the secret armor of the island, which is true. The secret armor of the island is the Pokemon Kubfu, which is a legendary Pokemon. And to finish the main plot line of the thing, you need to train up your Kubfu a little bit, take on one of the 2 towers that reside on the island, complete the tower, and then have your Kubfu evolve into Urshifu, the type depending on which tower you picked. There's a dark tower and then there's a water tower. So that is what we need to do. Luckily, we have some ways of doing this fast if RNG cooperates, so hopefully it does. But first, we have to get our Kubfu, and the stats of our Kubfu do matter ever so slightly. Mainly, it's speed. Now, luckily enough for us, since Kubfu is a legendary Pokemon, that means it has 3 guaranteed perfect IV stats. So that's pretty good. So we're gonna save here, and we're actually gonna go into our Switch menu here. And we gotta change the date again, and I'll go into a little bit why we need to do that. So now we talked to Mustard is going to give us the Kubfu. I need to change the date here because we need to make it foggy and dark outside. That's very important because this will create a specific spawn. What we're going to be training on with Kubfu, because we got to get him up fast. We can't just be grinding on wild Pokemon willy-nilly. We got to get him up fast so we can, it's a speed run. We need to go quick. So what we're going to be training on is Blissey's. Blissey's will pop up in these foggy weather at nighttime. So that's why we changed the clock in time to what we need it to. This is entirely RNG dependent as to how fast it will go because Blissey's are a 2% spawn rate. Now they're a 2% spawn rate at any given spot, so it's not like, you know, you have 2% chance of it popping up in the entire area or something like that. It's at any given spot, so like it's not as bad as it sounds, but it's still pretty bad. So hopefully our Kubfu is runnable here. The reason why, if it's not, then I'll have to reload, but let's see. We need at least 20 speed. Oops. Nope, it's not runnable. Wow, that's very rare. It's very rare to not have a runnable Kubfu. So we get to experience that cutscene again. It can happen, it can happen. But you need at least 20 speed. 19 speed is not going to cut it. And I'll go into a little bit more as to why in a bit. But yeah, 19 speed is not going to cut it. So we get to get the Kubfu again. Hopefully it has better speed this time. And like 19 speed is like basically the worst. I think you can get as low as 18 actually, but I don't know if I've ever seen 18. Like the barrier for 20 speed is not a hard one to hit. It can be up to 24 speed. So like the fact that I didn't get it is very unlucky. But you know, marathon luck, am I right? All right, so here we go. Yep. Blah, blah, please let me look at my Kubfu. All right, be better this time, please. Yeah, that's what we like. So bye, Ninetales. Now we're gonna roll with Kubfu. All right, so now Blissey's. Again, it's just RNG. It's just RNG. So hopefully we get some quick spawns here, but we might not. I tend to have some of the worst luck I've seen of other people who run this category. I just tend to not get Blissey's as often as people do. I don't know why. I just have some terrible Blissey luck, I guess. So we kind of just did one pop there? No, okay. We kind of just circle this area. Hopefully one of them pops. Like I said, it's 2% at any given spot. So like, for example, there's like 4 spots in that grass area. There's like 6 spots in this one. Hey, there's one. Now you'll see why blissies are important here. Hopefully, if I don't die. If this is a high level blissy, this is going to be a little bit of a problem. It's the highest level it can be. Hopefully we survive. It's all just dependent on what blissy decides to use here. Luckily, it's been good so far. Good. Okay, this blissy cooperated, so this is fine. So actually, it's a little slower of a fight, but watch. We're level 10 right now. Watch after this blissy. Boom. 6 levels. That's why it needs to be blissy. That's why. 6 levels right off the bat. We're gonna target. Oh wow, there's one right there. We're gonna target 18. Please let me hit it. Thank you. It almost disappeared. We're gonna target level 18 with our current stats. So if this is a high enough level blissy, we'll be done after this, which is great. It might be enough. Let's see. Let me see. Ugh, nope, we gotta get one more. If it was a level 13, it would have been 5. So hopefully, oh, wow. No. Did we get it? Yeah. Oh man. We got 2 really close encounters. They start to disappear. We're getting them on like some of the last frames that they're available. Nerve-wracking. But this was pretty fast. I really can't complain. This is some of the faster blissy luck I've had, which is great, especially since we had to reset for cub food, so. Yeah, we're over leveled now, but that's fine. Over leveled, over under leveled. Okay, we're good now, so we don't need to do any more training. So one other thing that we have to do to be able to progress the story is not only train Kubfu up high enough that he can take on this tower, but we also have to bond with the Kubfu, which means we have to increase its friendship level. Now, luckily, the game includes something for us so that we don't have to like do it in traditional means like Pokemon Camp constantly or whatever the case may be. There are certain like viewpoints that we can go walk to that will increase our friendship with our Kubfu dramatically. We got to hit 3 of them and our friendship level will be high enough for Mustard to let us attempt one of the towers. So here's the first one. And the idea is kind of we bond over just like looking out at the scenery. Now, this cave is kind of cool looking, but I don't know. If I went in this cave, I don't know if I'd just stare at it and bond with whoever I was with, but, you know, whatever. It's fine, I guess. It's okay. It's an okay cave. Let's head on over to the second point now. And the second point is quite a bit away. We have to traverse the swamp, the forest, and then go all the way up the stairs in the next area. So it's a little bit lengthy. Bouffalantes are the worst for this reason. Bouffalant, why have you done this? Actually, you know what? I don't think I said this out loud, but for every non-intended encounter, I'm donating $5. So I think that we are up to $15 or $20 now. I think it's I think it's 20. I'll round it to 20. More money for the charity. So good stuff. Good stuff. Cross through these. But yeah, Bouffalantes are the worst. If they see you, they just straight up charge at you and they run faster than your running speed. That's one thing I didn't really touch upon. So what makes another thing that makes this run a little bit fun and challenging even is that because we head on over to the Isle of Armor, the DLC, as fast as possible, we miss out on a lot of key mechanics. For example, we don't get the bike and we don't get fly. So it's not like we can just transport ourselves very easily, which is why we depend on these death warps a lot. Now this matters a little bit for the speed run even, because like I said, there are 2 towers that we can choose from, the water tower and the dark tower. Now the dark tower is faster anyway, so we would choose the dark tower regardless. But even if we wanted to do the water tower, like we wanted to make it an incentive or something like that, at this stage we can't even take the water tower because we don't have the bike And the reason why we need the bike to the water tower is because it's surrounded by water. And in this game, the bike is your also your surf mechanic. It turns into like a floating bike that you get across the water. You like ride across the water. So because we don't have the bike, we can't even access the water tower if we wanted to. So that's unfortunate. All right, so here's point number 2. So this one is an all right viewpoint, I think. So let's take a look. See, this is like a nice landscape. You got the water in the background. You can see the forest, the woods. You can see one of the towers in the distance. Pretty cool. I'll give you this one. I could bond over this. Now we're going to head on over to the third one, which is actually through the same cave that we got our max mushrooms for earlier. All right, there we go. We're gonna head through the cave. Again, we're just dodging encounters here. We don't need any of this. And then we're going to head to the third bonding point. Now, I'm sorry. Oh, there you are, Stand True. Where were you a little bit ago? I'm sorry. This third bonding point, it's terrible looking. We're gonna look at it and you're gonna be like, how can anyone bond over this? Like, it's literally a vast wasteland of nothing. Ready? Check this out. Wow, look at this beautiful view. It's a foggy, smoky desert where you can see nothing. How am I gonna bond on that? Come on now. All right, so we do have the third point, so we're good to go, but we are gonna grab a couple extra things here. We're gonna grab 2 items specifically that'll be helpful to us. We're gonna grab this rocky helmet, which will come into play a little bit later. That Rhyperior is also important, but we'll have to double back. We're gonna grab this TR over here for reversal. So the tower is very cool. We have some really cool speed strats for it. Now, you'll notice when we get to the tower after this, that it's going to suggest that we are level 30 for the tower. We're level 18, so we're obviously not level 30. But we get around this by doing some really fun strats. First, we need to do a death warp though. So we're gonna death warp out of this Rhyperior. Hopefully it kills us quick. Earthquake is a good one. Bye. All right. So the strategies that we use, I'm actually, hold on. I'm gonna get into those a little bit after, because there is a chance, because we death warp off of Kubfu here, there's a chance that it lowered our friendship level enough that we don't meet the muster requirements. No, we're good. Okay, just wanted to check. If that were the case, then I'd have to go into Pokemon Camp and play with Kubfu a little bit to up his friendship level, but we're fine. Now, the strats. So what we're going to do here is we're going to teach reversal to Kubfu. Reversal is a fighting type move that does more damage the lower health that you have. Kubfu also has a move called called Endure. Endure is a move that will make Kubfu survive with 1 HP if it were meant to die on that move. So what we do a lot of times in this tower is we combine those 2 things. We will take damage on purpose. We'll use Endure to survive with 1 HP, and then we will use Reversal on the Pokemon because at 1 HP, Reversal does its maximum amount of damage because we have the lowest possible health. So it's a cool, fun little strat. So let's go in and let's teach it. We're gonna teach it our Focus Energy because we don't need it. And then we also utilize another really cool strategy, but I'm going to save that one. Don't do it, Bouffalant. All right, cool. I was worried that Bouffalant was going to charge us again. All right. So we're going to cross the land here. We got to get up to the tower, which we were actually pretty much at the door of the tower when we hit the second bonding point. So we have to walk all the way back there again. One of the times that you wish you had bike or something to move faster, but unfortunately we don't. So we got to traverse. We just got to walk there.
But yeah, I'm happy. The Blissey luck was some of the best I've ever had in a marathon for sure. So I'm happy for that. Usually when the marathon setting comes, Blissies don't want to come out. They get shy or whatever. So pretty good, especially considering that we had to reset for Kubfu, so that really helped. All right. So up we go, up the stairs, well, across the bridge here first, and then up these stairs. You can see the tower is right there. Oh, we could have also grinded on Chanseys, but Chanseys give you a little bit less experience than Blissies, obviously since Blissey is the evolved version of Chansey, so. But Chanseys would have been fine as well, so wouldn't have been a big deal. All right, up to the tower. Yep, this is the Dark Tower. So based on which tower you choose, by the way, it will alter the type of the Urshifu that you get at the end. So because we choose the Dark Tower, we will be getting a Dark and Fighting type Urshifu. But if we had chosen Water Tower, then we would have gotten a Water and Fighting Urshifu. So pretty cool. All right, so the tower has 5 trainers. They all have 1 Pokemon each, so it's not like they have extensive teams, which is good. So we're going to, if you lose to a trainer, you have to go to the bottom of the tower. So we will be saving a couple times just for safety, but this is not one of them. This one is pretty free. Even if it hits us for a lot of damage, it actually helps us in the next fight. So boom. All right, so Zoro is down. That's trainer 1 defeated. We didn't need to use that Endure reversal strategy for this one because it actually would have just taken too much time. All right, so up to trainer 2. So now we're going to utilize this strategy, but I think our health is a little, I gotta look at our health again, but I think it's a little high, so we're gonna have to do a stall, which is fine. So if our health was a bit lower, we could use just straight up use Endure, then reversal, but I think we're gonna have to use Leer once first, which is, it's not a big deal, waste 1 turn. It happens almost always. Yeah, our health is too high. All right, so Leer, take 1 hit here. Now we'll use Endure because we would probably die on the next hit. Yep. And then reversal. And this is exactly why speed matters the most for Kubfu, because we need to make sure we outspeed all these Pokemon, or else this Endure reversal strategy doesn't work. Because if we are slower, then we won't get reversal off in time. We'll just die because we'll have 1 HP. So it's important. All right, so great. We are at 1 HP. Actually, we're a little high. I'm gonna save here just for absolute super safety, but it should be fine. I'm gonna just use reversal here. The reason why I'm gonna save is because we leveled up, we actually have a little bit more than 1 HP. We have like 3 or 4, I think. So there is a chance that it doesn't do enough damage because we have a little bit more health, but we also are higher level, so our attack stat is just higher by default. So let's see. Yep, that is why I saved. I'm glad I did. So we're gonna have to use Endure and then reversal. That's fine though. That's fine. I'm really glad I saved there. Because that then I would have to do the first trainer all over again, so no thanks. So yeah, Endure and reversal. That's fine though. Not a big deal. All right. All right, Endure. So we survive with 1 HP. And reversal. Now we should kill the NK. Boom. There you go. See, that's how much it matters though. We had 3 HP and it didn't do enough damage, but 1 HP does enough damage. So that's what makes this strategy really cool in my opinion. It's just you just have to utilize a lot of unique things, and you get thrown into a variety of different situations. It's really cool. All right, so we're going to do this. We're actually going to use this Oranberry for 10 HP, and then we're going to heal for 20 more. And I am going to save here again, just for safety's sake. So this one has a Krokorok. So the strategy here is to straight up use reversal, because Krokorok is always faster than us, even if we had highest base speed. So the idea is that Krokorok will hurt us, and then we will use reversal. However, Krokorok also likes to use protect, which just wastes a turn, because he doesn't do damage to us, we don't do damage to it. So hopefully this is enough damage. Let's see. No, that's fine. So we're going to use Endure. No. Let's see. Are we just dead here? Yeah. Okay. So we got unfortunate luck there. Again, very glad I saved. Very glad I saved. So what we're going to have to do if that happens again is we'll actually, instead of using Endure, we'll actually just have to heal to survive one more attack, which is fine. Not the end of the world. But yeah, this is more trouble than the tower usually gives me. Usually I can skate right through this tower, so. But, you know, marathon luck. We're still in really good shape, though. All right, so reversal. You'll love to use protect again. Thank you for that. All right, so this should do more damage to us. Yeah, so this should be fine now. Yeah, the reason why that last turn went worse, the first fight with this Krokorok went worse, is because he used Assurance and not Sand Tomb. So Assurance does a little bit less damage, which means that we do less damage in turn to the Krokorok. But because he used Sand Tomb that time, Sand Tomb does more damage, which means we were weakened more, which means we could take it out. All right, here's the last trainer, which is dun 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 Mustard. But we need to do a few things first. So we're gonna heal to full. And we're also going to equip the Rocky Helmet. Now, if you're unfamiliar, and we're also gonna save, because even if we do everything right, we could still die here. Now, the Rocky Helmet is an item when equipped. If you're hit with a physical move, you will do damage right back to the other Pokemon. So we're going to utilize a very fun strategy here. So first turn, we're going to use Max Mushrooms to bump our stats. Mustard's Kung-Fu will almost always use a physical attacking move. So we'll use Max Mushrooms. We'll get hit for a lot of damage. That's fine. Second turn, we'll use Endure. Hopefully, Kung-Fu will then use another attacking move there. And then we'll be surviving with 1 HP. Kung-Fu, meanwhile, will have taken 2 different damage routes from the Rocky Helmet, and then we will hit it with reversal to finish it out. So very cool stuff. All right, so first, Max Mushrooms. All right, so we'll always, Mustard will always use an attacking move first, always. Oh, we got crit. Jeez. The luck I'm getting. That's why you save, because one, we can get crit on and just die. It doesn't matter. Because it ignores our Max Mushroom at that point. That's exactly why we save. And now I get to point out this fun thing. So remember how I talked all the way back when we first saw Mustard that these are definitely his eyebrows? I didn't point this out the first time because I was explaining it, what we do for the strategy. Well, check this out. So he's gonna throw off his little bowler hat. And now he's got Super Saiyan eyebrows. Those are definitely his eyebrows. See, I told you. Look at that. Okay, so let's try this again. Hopefully not get crit on this time. All right, so Cubfu, cooperate this time, please. There we go. That's what's supposed to happen. Now endure. Now we can get unlucky here if the Cubfu, okay, it didn't, but if it used the focus energy there, we would die because our endure would not work because it was not an attacking move, and then we can't just use endure again because it would fail because it was a successful use of it last time. So we would just die again. But luckily enough, he used brick break, so it worked out. We were able to take it out. All right, and that is it. The end of the run is coming up very shortly, about 2 more minutes. So, yeah, geez, we lost 4 minutes in that tower, just for reference. 3 minutes and 40 seconds, but still, we got trolled a bunch in that tower. But that's, you know, that's why we pad the estimate. You never know. All right, so now we just have this cutscene here. We need to walk to the banner that's behind Mustard, and the Cubfu will read the banner and evolve it to Urshifu. All right, here we go. And this is, like I said, this is the good ending. You want your Cubfu to evolve into Urshifu. If you want the bad ending, which is called Don't Get Urshifu, what you do is you get the Cubfu, and then you straight up release it. You just release the Cubfu right away. And then Mustard's just like, oh, you released Cubfu? Okay, I guess you can just take on the tower with whatever Pokemon you want then. And then you just fight it with your Sobble or your Ninetales. Obviously very sad just to straight up abandon a Pokemon, so that's definitely the bad ending. All right, so that's our Urshifu there. All right, and time is coming up very shortly. We just have to get through this last cutscene. All right, and time is coming up. And time. And there you go. That is the Tower of 2/5 speedrun. You can see our Urshifu there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you stuck around for both of my runs, Bugsnax before this and this one, thank you very, very much. I just wanted to take the time to thank everyone involved with SpeedGaming and this No Kids Hungry event. Such an amazing cause, and they're doing so much behind the scenes to make this event run just as smoothly as it has been. So I can't thank them enough for not only having me, but for dedicating their time to making such an incredible event. So thank you so much for having me and being there and being yourselves. I appreciate it. If you're interested in running this game, this run, or any game, you're just gonna go ahead and go into speedrun.com and search the Pokemon game of your choice. If you're looking for this run specifically, this is actually in the category extensions of Sword and Shield, and then you can find a whole bunch of guides there, access to the Discords, which are broken up by system and gen, so you can figure out, you know, ask questions, get whatever it is that you need. We'll be there to help you out. Then, like I said before, if you like speedruns of the Bugsnax or Pokemon or just fun variety, come on by twitch.tv/KonceptionSR. Be glad to have you. We're a great open community. And yeah, we would just love to see some new faces. So other than that, thank you so much for having me, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.